While you're in your hammocks, just let yourself relax. Let the head be relaxed. Make sure the arms are such that breathing is very easy. So sometimes I do a little X over the heart. That helps my elbows push into the fabric to give my lungs some space. Other days, the arms dangle over the back end. And then with the arms reaching up like this, that also it can be very helpful for just letting the lungs, be able to open wide without the arms in the way. So just play with whichever one helps your breath be extra deep. And take these next breaths as deep as you possibly can, all the way into the belly. Sometimes when I say deep, people don't know exactly what I mean, because deep could mean, faster breaths. It could mean trying to focus on, the pace or the rhythm. But really what I mean is deep goes clear down into the belly. So the diaphragm is pushing down, helping the organs to kind of punch together in the belly area. And that means that because the diaphragm's down, the lungs get to fill up even deeper, filling their lobes entirely. There's a statistic I heard recently that people in our normal Western average life, we're only breathing to about 30% of our capacity most of the day. So with that extra deep breath into the belly, we're giving all of the lobes of our lungs a chance to really expand, to deepen, getting ourselves filled with oxygen already. And a simple intention today of contentment. There's so much that's going crazy in the world right now that we could find ourselves constantly discontented. It's like, oh, well, in my case, the studio was closed for a while, and the money's, just there's so many things you can always be discontent about. But at least during this hour together, let's try to practice contentment. Whatever we have is enough for us. We're doing okay, we're healthy, we're strong. So this is enough right here, right now. And so with this idea of contentment to help lead us into our practice today, let's begin some simple stretches. The arms stretch all the way to the back wall. And then start to let the shoulders go left and right. Starting to open up the side of the hips and the side of the ribs. You can go fast, but I prefer to go super, super slow to both directions. It's like there's nothing to do, nowhere to be, but just wiggling the side ribs right now. Good. Eventually return back to stillness. The right knee will come toward the chest. Clasp the hands around that knee. You can either work on continuously pulling the knee deeper and deeper, if that's what feels good, or some days it's just a simple ankle roll. Whatever's the most helpful, the highest good, start to take that movement. And eventually start to let the right leg stretch up to the sky. Grab onto the back of it, pulling it in for a nice back of the leg stretch. Okay, before we drop it down, we're going to take it into that hip opener. So right ankle, hook it onto the back left part. So you're just kind of swinging that ankle over to hook. Once you've got the ankle hooked, continue to slide the shin in Like a little pigeon pose, but laying on our back. And just enjoy what you're experiencing. Maybe you haven't had a hip opener like this in months. So just revel in the contentment of being right here in this moment. Let's take another huge inhale. Exhale, start to free out the legs. Sometimes I give it one last little tug up to the sky before I drop it down. Good. And the second knee comes into the chest. Give it a good hug. Maybe some ankle rolls. Okay, try to lengthen it up to the sky for the hamstrings. Notice if the knee naturally wants to bend, see if you can allow it to extend. Trying to engage the quad, the front of the thigh, squeeze that muscle to allow the straightening of the hamstring to happen. Take another really good inhale. And exhale, hook this one over to the back right part. Swing it over, hook it, and then slide the shin in. Make sure you go deep enough that you feel it in the hip, not deep enough to hurt the knee. There's a happy medium in between those 2 points. And really that happy medium is the realm of contentment. In any pose, there's a place that's too much, there's a place that's comfortable and way too easy. So we're finding the happy medium. We'll take another really good inhale. Exhale, free out the leg, let it extend up to the sky, maybe a little tug. And then when you drop this leg down, both legs are gonna stay inside the fabric for a little bit longer. Grab onto the fabric to help you sit up from inside. Keep the leg in though. Good. Okay, and then your thumbs help to push the fabric that's on your back down into your waist area. Lean partway back, grab back on. Good, continue to lean over backwards. And if holding onto the fabric is the best support for the spine, that's great. Sometimes I release and then grab my hands from behind to pull them into a nice shoulder stretch as well. So it's only the amount of back bend or shoulder opener that feels really delicious right now. Very full of contentment. Also, you choose how long. If I'm holding longer than you wish to in any pose, you can come right out. Never feel any pressure. Kind of our first taste of a nice inversion, maybe in a few months. But feeling how you can still breathe into the belly. Do another good inhale. And exhale, the head comes up. And then support the lift all the way up. Leave the legs inside for one more pose. Stretch your arms up toward the toes. So the head is regulating with the circulatory system. From here, we're going to switch it out so our legs kick off free out of the fabric. Our shoulders come back inside to lay back, but you can easily just support the head in the hands. Just kind of making it comfortable to lean backwards. From here, the legs go straight. What we're going to do up to 10 times, you don't have to do 10 if it's getting too much, but up to 10 times, you exhale, the toes lift, come as deep as you can in, and then slowly lower. Coming up, and slowly down. Here's 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Beautiful. Drop the knees down, come up to sit. And I'll just take a little twist here. The right hand goes to the left thigh in front of you. And then the left hand stretches to the back wall. Maybe it even circles around the back side of the head. If you want even more, that right arm hooks clear that fabric that's in front of you. Start to release, return forward, and the second side. Left hand starts off at the thigh, right hand reaches the wall behind you, maybe circles around. If your spine says still more, please, the left arm needs to hook onto the fabric, directly in front. Another good inhale. And exhale, start to release. We're going to head into the inversion from here. So hook the thumbs onto your back and push the fabric to the back side of the pant line. So that nice line right there. As soon as you have it there, lean halfway back, grab back on like a tabletop position. Good. Continue to lay back as the legs go wide. That way you don't fall out. Good. Wrap the toes around. And then as we're releasing here, and just keep on practicing that much, Elizabeth, just slowly in and out. So as we're here, to get into another little twist, bring one hand to the mat long in front of you, one to the mat long behind you, but try to keep the hips facing the way that they started. So it's more of the shoulders and the rib cage starting to wide open. And eventually switch sides. Good. And then as you release from there, or continue to play with it, I'll give you some more time to be in this inversion. So any little variations like crunches, or just letting your arms dangle at your side, any of that feels good, feel free to play with it. I don't know about you guys, but there's definitely been some times during the pandemic where my low back was like, can I just hang upside down? Yeah. Oh, so that's what I love about this pose, just that chance to be right here. You two are so in sync. You pretty much came out at the same time. Just give your head some time to catch up with your body. Take another breath deep into the belly. With our exhale, start to sit back upright. What I want us to do is bunch up the fabric that's closest to me, that helps you see me. So you guys are just gonna mimic me going to the front door, Marisol this way. So bunch it up to that direction, this way. That'll help you see me. Yeah, perfect. Very good. Okay. Once it's bunched up, lock your arms straight to that direction. Get that same side leg up and over. If you get in there before others, just get your heels in. Let your legs go out straight. And have your hands help press your legs wide and that nice stretch. Right now your posture is tall, and so just take your legs into each side and you'll be good to go. Starting to work just a little bit through the arm strength. The arms push outward into the fabric as the legs squeeze together. The inhale, the arms are still pushing out, but the legs release, so that brings you back wide. Exhale, squeeze together. And release to go wide. Repeat 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. The legs go wide on their own. Right hand drops down onto right leg. Left hand reaches up and over. Letting those shoulders that just work get a chance to stretch out. Pay attention to the leg that's loose, the one that you're not stretching toward. Don't let it just kind of flop in. Instead, keep it actively spreading wide. The top shoulder, see if you can rotate it backwards so that it can touch the fabric behind you, helping the spine to stack a little bit more upright. And then let's rise. Switching it out. Move to the left. Right hand up and over. Try to peel the top shoulder back. Good. And rise. Bottoms of the feet just get a chance to rest together. And let's take a moment to connect back to our idea of contentment. And let yourself find something to be content over. It could just be my breath feels good right now. It could be all sorts of things that you have to be grateful for. The technology that we have, the shipping, we can get things ordered and shipped directly to our house. The cars that we have, computers, there's so much that we're so fortunate to have that most of humanity couldn't even have dreamed of. And here we are living it. So just let yourself reside in that state of contentment for at least this moment. You know what? Everything is pretty good. Everything's all right. Let's take 5 more relaxing breaths here. Whenever you finish your 5th breath, start to free out your feet. Our legs are dangling back down. Good. We're going to take ourselves into our taco stretch. So the way that we get into this one, you take one of your hands and press it into the fabric right in front of your face. It's like a stop sign hand. Whatever foot is opposite of that hand, you grab onto it and place it right where the hand is. Once you've got one foot up, you just take the other one next to the first. Make sure you can always do a little heel toe left or right if you're not quite in the center, just to kind of recenter it. And you can have some bend to the knees, that's okay. That's almost like a malasana pose, letting the hips take the stretch. But the more you try to work the legs straight, the deeper into the hamstrings it gets. You've got some options to make it easier. Pushing heels into the fabric would be one way to make it easier. To make it deeper is this straightening and a more intense release. Oftentimes what I ultimately do if I'm having one of those deep days is I scan through all the muscles of my hips and my low back, and I ask what muscle groups are holding on where they don't need to. And I ask those muscles, can you release just a little bit more? And so in that way, it's a journey. It's not just a pose that I'm just holding the whole time, but I'm constantly checking in with my body, trying to find new places to release until it feels, such a delicious, deep stretch. Like one of those places maybe you could feel like you could hold on to for quite some time. Occasionally there's poses I get into that it's like, oh, I could be here 20 minutes, just completely content. Some people may just want to stay in this shape. If there's anybody who wants to head to cobbler from here, you can start to let the knees go wide. And your choice in how deep the heels come in toward the pelvis. Just as deep as it feels good. Again, if the previous one feels better, just find that place of contentment for now. Whichever shape you're in, let's enjoy 3 more deep belly breaths. Good. We're already like halfway there to being out, so just free out your legs to the front side. Shift your hips so that you're even again. Let's take another inversion before we head on. So this is the vampire. And if anybody's not comfortable with it, you just let me know. But if you know it, feel free to head on into it. But essentially one thin layer of fabric over the shoulders. That's your safety, so make sure there's enough to completely cover the shoulders. Not too much to push on the neck, so just enough for feet to step in, and then lift up the hips as you straighten the legs. Take all that excess fabric down. Now to take a comfortable grip on the back. Feet hike up, in or outside the fabric, doesn't matter. They push into the edges to come up tight. And you choose how long you stay. That's always the rule for inversions. If there's little teeny variations that anybody wants to play with, you have my permission to play with them. Otherwise, just hanging can be delicious as well. Feel free to lay down as long as it feels really good. Only come up to sit when you feel ready. Sometimes little neck rolls can feel really good, loosening up any sort of neck tension that might be available or that might be present right now. When you feel ready to exit, grip onto the fabric. See if you can do a little, use the pressure of your thighs down into the fabric to lift you up, and then lower yourself down. Good, nice. A little bit of extra strength there. From here, wrap your arms around the fabric above the head. Once, twice, and then grip. You're either gonna be playing with hops to come up and down, or trying to hold in a flex arm hang. So your personal preference, go take a moment of playtime here to just go with that arm strength. Yep, hops are perfectly fine, so your choice. Gotta keep the breath going, that feeds the muscles. Yeah, like I'm already seeing you doing, taking a nice little opening and then closing of the hands each time can feel really good, just to keep that grip strength up. We're still doing okay, let's do one or two more. Good. Yeah, trust is what it builds over time. Sometimes we just have to trust. It's like, maybe it's not the best, but we're getting there. Okay, from here, take your elbows into the fabric. So your elbows are completely covered. And you're just kind of comfortably gripping on up here. Take your elbows into your waist. Keep your shoulders pressing down. And then we're going to start lowering down so that we're kind of just hanging with the elbows. Good. We're going to do a couple of knee lifts. So get your toes off the ground. We're going to go for up to 10. If you ever get to be too much, just plant your feet again. So going up 10, 9, 8, 7, good, 6. You can even lift one knee at a time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, now take one foot out in front of you, one foot behind. You want both feet to be able to be flat on the ground. You can even take your arms all the way behind, just using it for help with balance. You've got a couple of options. You can either sink further and further down like the splits, or you can stay higher up, open the arms out and lean forward more like pyramid pose. Whichever feels more stable or deeper. Whichever leads you to contentment. Press your biceps into the fabric to help you lift. Grab on. Maybe you can do a quick little switch. Good. Set both feet back up flat if we're doing the pyramid. I'm just opening and then lean forward. The more both legs try to go straight, the deeper the stretch is. Okay, send both knees gently down to the ground. The elbows are hooked behind. And then we're gonna use the elbow hook to help us come into a nice little shoulder stretch. So if you just drift down, you'll pull your shoulders there. If you want more, continue to come forward almost like a kneeling plank. Essentially, you choose the intensity. If you hit a moment where either the pressure doesn't feel quite as good or the shoulders have had enough, you'll simply come out into a nice child pose. So you choose when that is. And if you haven't come out already, take your last 3 breaths or so. And start to rise up to sit. Come into a seated position, just cross-legged is fine. Both hands dive inside. And then as we lean forward, start to let your spine have some freedom, swaying left and right. Maybe once more to each side. And then leave the palms inside as we come back up to sit. Turn the thumbs down. Scoop toward your face under until you can flip all the way up. And then separate as wide as shoulders before you grip on. We're gonna start off at 1 level of difficulty, and then I've got another option if you want to join in. So just doing 5 to start off with. Keep the sides of your feet touching the ground. Push into them to help you rise up and down. Super slow like that. So here's 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good, give your fingers a break for a moment. So you don't have to take the harder option, but if you're going with me, do the same lift, and then as soon as you're there, you can try to lift your knees in toward your chest and then gently lower it down. So, do you guys understand, or do you want to view like a new show? Yeah. So do 1, and then up and down. Yeah. Okay. So aiming for 5. And just going back to the first one, totally fine. Yep, even just leaning, that's fine. Okay, so when you're ready, exhale. Inhale. Good, making it slow, everyone. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good work. Go ahead and free your legs out. Just take a normal cobbler pose. Up and over. Good work. Let's start to sit up. You can either just come up to standing or try to go for one more little pull-up, taking you all the way up. I'm going to try to mirror you. So let's take our left foot inside the fabric. Let's flip it all the way down to the thigh, actually. Good. You put up at the thigh area. Flat hands high, thumbs hug around. Start to sink your weight forward. Into the hip opener. Oh yeah. Grabbing onto the front door side of the fabric, start to rotate the hips open, warrior 2. Maybe the arms open up to warrior 2 position. Your choice. Remember contentment. You can keep this about strength by squeezing your inner thighs together constantly, or you can make this about flexibility by trying to sink deeper constantly. So your choice. Sometimes I really have to pay attention to the sacrum and ask the sacrum, what would you be content with? Good. Hands return to the fabric, squeezing our thighs together. Slip down to the ankle. And then on this front door side of the fabric, slide one hand down, one hand up. This leaves our shoulders open. And then if there's more space for flexibility, you have the option to go forward. Again, ask your body what it would be the most content with. Squeezing our thighs together, grip one hand on each side, and a little hop to face forward. And twist to the back door, so right hand grabs or pushes on the outside of the fabric, the left hand opens. And return, gripping one hand on each side. Either lean forward or splits forward, your preference here. Coming back to rise. You can easily just step this foot out, step the other foot in, or if you're going for the swinging switch, at the moment when you have both feet in, maybe try to also do a little pull up and then step that left foot down. Yeah. Good work. Okay, flipping it down to the thigh when you get there. And warrior one, lunge forward. Starting onto the left side fabric, so open up warrior two. Maybe arms open up as well. You got it. And another good breath in. Exhale, grab on, squeezing our thighs together. Start flipping down toward the ankle. Letting one hand down, one hand up. Staying here is fine. Lunging forward is fine. Depends on what makes your body very content. And squeezing our thighs together, grip one hand on each side, hop to be forward. This is that option, lean or splits. Coming back, you can either just step both feet out or just do one more of those swinging switches with the pull-up just to balance everything out. Good. Step all the way out. Okay, fabric's out in front of us. Imagine you're giving it a big bear hug, so you're going through the outside, and then wind your hands once around. So, yep, just like that. It kind of goes right around the outside of the wrists. So from here, we're gonna practice something similar to what we did on the ground. We're not gripping super high up. It's like just a little bit higher than the shoulders. And we pull ourselves up to that pull-up. Maybe the knees come in, and then knees back down to lower. Okay? Yep, just like that. Yep. So going for 5 of those. Exhale. And feel free to make it as slow motion as you'd like. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yeah. And just like I see happening, I do a little opening each time just to kind of give my hand a little break. Okay. Now, this next one's a little bit advanced. So if you're practicing the hops, you're just going to keep on practicing exactly what we just did a few more times. If you'd like to try this one, again, we don't have to grip up super high, but you grip on, you curl into a tight ball, and you flip. I straighten my arms once I'm here, and then I land to pop back out. So if you want to try the flip, feel free to try the flip. So you just have to think of your knees coming up to the sky essentially. So exhale. I straighten my arms when I'm there. That also helps me get in it. Yeah. Oh, so you can hug your feet. Yeah. If you get your feet to hug, so that'll help you get upside down. Okay. Yeah. Yes. And then flip.
Kind of cheating.
That's okay. That's okay. It counts. I try to hug with both. Yeah. Okay. So when I'm doing it, I'm trying to think of like.
Okay.
It's hard. I know. like when I do handstands, I always do the one, and it's like you should practice the other foot too. I know it's hard. Yes. Cool. I want to show you one more thing, just as a play thing. You don't have to do it today. You'll have a moment if you want to play with it, but taking this just one step further for anybody who wants to, or just think about it for the future. So with this one, if I go just a little bit higher, I do the same flip. Once I'm upside down, I slide down until I'm caught at my hips. I straighten out, and then I just kind of step down. So another fun little thing that you can play with. Yeah, working that core for sure. So if you want to try it, so if you're a little bit higher.
Like this high about?
I would go like just like here-ish, yeah. Because it does heat your hands as you go down, like fabric does. Okay. So you don't want to go too high. But
when you get upside down,
you slide down and catch yourself on your hips. You're still in the pike.
okay.
And then you just flatten out like you're flying. Yeah. You keep your hands on the same grip though by your hips. Okay. You want to see it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Time, please, if you don't mind.
Yep. I'm noticing as it's getting harder, I want to do one leg. So I understand. Yeah. I slide down. And flatten out. Okay. Yes. Keep the pike as you slide down. Yeah. And see if it got to your belly, but see if you can still flatten out. Yes. Good job, Marisol. Yes.
Yeah.
It's just the pike got to the belly instead of the hips. That's the only difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that is not comfortable.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're on the bones, it makes it better.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys don't have to try again. If you want to, go right ahead. You're good? Beautiful.
I'm good.
Beautiful. One more. You got it. And then if your fabric's wound, you can totally unwind it. Yep. And there you are. Beautiful. Okay, let's take this a nice shoulder stretch. So come to the front of your fabric. Make sure it's unwound and then wave it left and right. We'll hook our elbows. Yeah, I think the brewery uses that patio a lot more right now. Yeah. It's like that's the patio that they have. So you're gonna hook your elbows, kind of forming like cactus arms, nice 90-degree angles to each side or higher. You can choose higher if you want. And your goal is to stretch the pecs and the shoulders. So what I usually need to do is step one foot forward, the other foot back like a nice lunge. So kind of like super far front, even past your mat maybe. Other people will just be standing here, just lean directly into it. That one does get more intense though. So just take a couple of good breaths right here. Good. Sliding back, take the elbows into the chest and just roll the head for a moment. And then we'll take the second side lunge. Okay, if it feels good, step the other foot forward. Make sure that the shoulders and the elbows are getting pulled back enough that you're feeling the pecs. You can even go up and it slightly changes where you're feeling it. So just kind of play with it. Another good inhale. And exhale, step back. You're still pretty far forward up on your mat. Hook your thumbs and just right away take those 5 grips or so of fabric. So go down lower now. Yeah. Yep. Just those 5 grips or so. I would flip it so that I've got my thumb on the inside and the rest. Yeah. Just like that. Yeah, so essentially getting into the fabric. Come on back. If you want to swing during your Shavasana, step back a little bit before you come in, and that'll get you swinging. Beautiful. And then just head on back for a nice Shavasana. Very comfortable, very relaxed. Yes. Just let that breath deep, relax. The body did a lot for us today, both on the stretching and the strengthening ends. And so just express contentment for the body. No matter what happened today, good, bad, right, wrong, ugly, beautiful, no matter what it was that you felt, experience contentment for the body. It did the best that it could with what it had today. And we are so grateful for it. I'm grateful for you for showing up today. And as you fall into this relaxing Shavasana, let the mind start off just listing off things that you have to be content for. Things that make your life just awesome. And that thought of contentment will lead us in for this next few minutes of simple relaxation. Begin to deepen the inhales and the exhales. Little wiggles come to the fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Perhaps stretching out to the back. Maybe let your ribs do that stretch, shoulders going left and right. Anybody who wants to do a fetal position to each side is welcome to do, 3 or 4 sets, curling in and arcing back if you wish. Eventually coming up to a seated position, nice and comfortable when you're ready. Perhaps giving the fabric a hug of gratitude, hands joined together in front of the heart. And just feel this tremendous contentment that's taking over our whole being. Even just contentment for the weekend. Contentment that I made it through this day. No matter how it went, I made it through. Contentment for my breath, for my body, for this journey that I have in life. So much to be content for. And so with this spirit of contentment to lead us onward, let's wrap up this time we got to share together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.